Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to my channel. And today we will be doing the past paper questions on the topic of file handling. I have made the video regarding its the fundamental concept of the use of the file handling and the use of the files. And in order to understand it completely, you can watch my last video on file handling. Today we will move into its second part, and as I said in my lesson, in my last video lesson, that in this video I will be solving the past paper questions. We will attempt some of the questions from the past paper, and I will be using my own resource which I have created, the topical past paper. This will also be available in the description of this video. So let's start. In this topical, I have collected the questions from May-June 2015 till May-June 2022. So we will try to cover as many questions as we can. Maybe in this video, or we will have more videos on the past paper questions. Today I have selection of some of the questions, and the very first question that we will see is from 9608 May-June 2015. I have tried to select the question that can cover the different aspects of the file handling, and you will be able to understand and you will be able to experience the different questions related to read, write, append, and with different scenarios. So in this question you can see the company decides to offer a discount on selected dates. A program is written to indicate the dates on which a discount is offered. A program creates a text file that is discount dates for a number of consecutive dates. So this is the text file, and in this file you can see on each line we have a date, and then we have the status of the date, that either it has discount available or not. So true, false, and you can see various situations where status are given in front of each date. For each date and discount indicator is separated by a single space, so we have a space in between the date and the status. The discount indicators are false and true. False indicate a date on which no discount is offered, and true indicates a date on which a discount is offered. A program language has the built-in function concat, and the description of that built-in function is given in the question. Concat will have string 1 and string 2, and definitely they will be of type string, and it can also it can have the third parameter as string 3 or 4 strings. So we can add as many strings as we want, depend on the requirement of the question. But here we have 2 strings, and when they will be written inside the concat built-in function as a parameter, the built-in function will return the joined string as a return. So in this example you can see San Francisco, so it returns San Francisco, so without any space. Okay, so this is the example of the use of the concatenation. Now moving next, and that is the question. I have opened it on another window so that we can see the question and the scenario both at the same time. So this is the question. The question says the following incomplete pseudocode creates the text file discount date. So by this pseudocode we will create this discount date, and the lines of the pseudocodes with some missing lines is provided. We just need to fill the empty area, Now you can see I'm going to add a text and open discount date for. Now we are going to write the file. We will write it. Okay, so I will use write. Open discount for write. I'll change the color so that it must be clearly visible. Right, and in the next line, so open file discount date for write. Input. Now what we will input? We'll input the date which is written in the condition. So input next date. Next date. So next date will be input, and this next date will be taken into the while and while loop, and it will be tested as in the question it says the so it will keep asking for the date unless the log value xxs is not entered. So that is the next date. Input discount. So next thing is that you will ask for discount, because there are, you can see in the file there are two things. One is the date and the other is the status on that date, means either the discount is given on that date or it is not given. So the same we are doing over here. So input discount and then concatenated. The date and the discount with the space will be concatenated, and this we will give to next line. So here we will write next line. So the next line will have the date and discount along with the space, and which these three strings will be concatenated, and then it will be given to the next line. Now in the next line, write file. So I told you in my last lesson that here the data in the next line, it will be written to this file discount date. So when we use write file, we take the data from the variable and we give this data to the file which is written next to the write file and the name discount date. Okay, so this we don't have to enter, this is already entered. So what we only need, I'm just explaining it. Input next date, and you will ask for the date again, because unless you will not put this line here, the loop will not continue. Otherwise the loop will only take the data date once. So the last dotted line, this dotted line is actually the ending of the while. So we will write end while. So loop is created. So this is the completion of the code given over here. Okay. So with the help of this code, what happens? The discount date file is created. The text file is created. The line, the date, and the discount we are entering, they are taken and they are written into the discount date file. And as I told you in my last lesson that uh, we open the file either to write or to read or to append. So when a file is first time created, we write it, and writing means we are writing the data for the first time in the file. Okay, so if we will rewrite the same file in another program, then we will not use the write mode, we will use the append mode. Okay, so we'll see the question. Okay, then after doing this, moving to the next part, and it says that the discount date file is successfully created. As you have seen here, the file is created. Now the next thing is, okay, so now what is the next need? What we have to do in the next part is that in the E part, the discount date text file is successfully created. The company now wants a program to key in date entered by the user. Number one, search the text file for this date. If found, output one of the following message: no discount on this date, this is the discount date. And if not found, output date not found. So now this is the requirement of the questions part E, and we are going to search the last created file, and we will search for the date number one, and once the date is found, we'll see that on that particular date if the discount is available or if that discount is not available. And secondly, when we are searching for a date, is that date is available in that file, and if it is not available, then there must be a message that the date not found. So in the E part, first thing is that they are asking for the variables, the possible variables that we will need, and definitely finding out the variable is also one very important thing that you all should know, and how we can key in the data entered. One thing is the data entered, search the text file. So second is the search, and third is main points here we will need is that we need the, so we will see this. Okay, what we have to do in the next is that we will be writing the code. So although this is the past paper question, and in the past syllabus you were to write the program code, but definitely in the new syllabus 9618 there is no need to write the program code. You only need to, you will only be writing the pseudo code over here. Okay, so the we can start writing the code, pseudo code, and then we can come to this part one for identifying the variables that we would need, or we can also write the, okay, let's write we need next line, and we need next, we need found. This is boolean. Found is, my habit is that I start writing the code, and then meanwhile during the coding I write the variables as per the requirement. So I will definitely do that. So here let's begin the coding. As you can see, the company now wants a program to key in, and it's not a procedure or function, so we'll be writing the open code. So what we will write although it's saying there's no need to declare, but do not need include any declaration or comment statement on the variable used. But definitely when we will not be writing the code, we will be writing the pseudocode, we will do that. So first thing is that file will open file, and open file name is discount dates. So we'll write discount dates, we'll write discount dates, and we'll open it for read. We are opening the file to read. Okay, now the second thing is that we will ask the user to enter output, enter a date, and will input this date. So it means we need this date here. Okay, this date as string. So we asked the person to enter the date, and we entered it, and after that what we need to do is that we will use while not end of file, and the file is now the we can also use a name. We can use, this is also a good approach that you use file name as discount dates. And now wherever you're writing, you can write its name. Into this. Open file name for read, enter date, and this here we'll write file name. Although in coding we have different approach with this open file. Okay. So there we never prefer to write the name in the program statements. In A2, when you will be studying, you will learn that here we can refer it with the number 1, 2. So in pseudocode we have a little flexibility and we can write like this, or we can write the name directly as well if you want to make it cut short. But in order to avoid writing while not end of file, because we are reading, you must know that end of file is one built-in function that is very helpful when you don't know the number of lines in a file. And with the help of end of file, we can move inside and we can read the lines, every line one by one, and we can carry on the process until we reach the end of the file. Okay. So now moving to the file data is now read line, and read line again file name. So we'll read the line and give it to the file data. Okay, the data is given to the, okay, now the data is in the file line will come to the, one line from the file will come to this file data. Okay, now we have to draw the, because you know the date is like this, you can see the date in the file will be like this. This is the date. When you will, this line file data will get this complete data. Now we have to draw the date from it, only the date. So what we will do for that, here we are going to take the next date as left from file name, and how many numbers, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 numbers, 10 digits we will draw. So this line will give us 10 digits from left, means the date will be taken out from the string and this will be given to the next date. First we read the line and given it to file data. No, it's a file data, not file name. First the line is taken out and given it to the file data, and then this file data, from the file data you draw only the date and give it to the date. Now we will compare this date if, Now this date, next date is equal to the this date, the date we were searching. Then what will happen? If it is equal to this, the first thing is that we will turn the found is true. We'll do this. The second is that we will give a message. Okay. Now we found the date. Now we need to see that on this particular date if the discount is available or not. Okay. Now here again we will have a condition. If now the data we have is in the file data. The data we have in the file data. If length. Now these built-in function you will get in the insert provided in the end of the paper. So length, we will use a length on the file data. If the length is equal to, now see, in the true we have 1 2, so here till here we have 10 and this is the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If the length is equal to 15, then what we will output? We will output this is the discount date, else output this is not a discount date. And if okay, so okay, so this is and if one and if, and then we need to and if another and if, because there are two and if. Found, this is the next, make it little, this is the second if, and then we will take the date again, because in the input this date. Okay, and while we can make while not end of file, or found is true, because what will happen if we will add this condition, uh, if we found the line in between, then there is no need to search the remaining lines. This will improve the efficiency of the program. Okay, now one thing is left, and that is, okay, we will close the file after this, after the loop, close file, and we'll write file name. Yes, one thing very important is left, and that is if found is false, then output date not found. And if. So this is the complete code of this part. Now we can add the variables that we have used. I told you that this is more better approach, that after after making the program. So we have used found, we have used this date, there must be no space in the name, and then we have file data, file data, next date, and file data, this date, next date. So these are the variables. Next line found, next line, where we have used next line, we have used, we don't have used next line, we have used next date, so don't need this. Okay, so we have used found, this date, and we have used file name. We have used file name. Found is boolean, this date is string, and file data is also string. Maximum we have strings. Next date is string, file name is string. Okay, so this is how we attempted this description. You can add found is a boolean variable that we can use to, that we will use to store the data. Okay. Okay, so this is how we are done with this question, and I will make another video on some later on questions, and I will finish my video lesson here and wait for my next video. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.